Hello folks, I'm OwnSpack33, and welcome to a new Let's Play. A solo Let's Play of a cooperative one I did in the past, and my favorite game of all time. I don't know, I keep saying that. I'm pretty sure it is though. I mean, I have a great, I love this game, it's awesome. So, I can't really think of a game that I like better than it. I can play it over and over again. Apparently I can't start it. We're playing on the Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition. Normally it would have borders. I'll just show those off just to show you. So there's the borders, but I'm gonna take them off because they look kind of like weird. So I'm gonna they're all like half. It's kind of strange. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let the intro play out here first. You know it says continue. I had like a failed take of this, so I was gonna start from this file. Nothing really happened. There's trouble in Dreamland. And there's a bunch of enemies we'll be seeing throughout the game. And King DDD, the one of the main antagonists of the series. Sometimes he's a hero, but he's a villain here. And here comes Kirby riding in the spring breeze. Pretty simple intro. Kirby stole food. King DDD stole food. Kirby's gonna get it back, and I pressed the wrong button. So on the Wii remote, what would normally be select for me, like on a regular game, is it's not the same button. It's 1 to select and 2 is cancel, which is really weird because that's like, imagine like the B button being select and the A button being cancel on like a Nintendo game. That's not how it works. But what's really cool about the Dream Collection is the fact that you can play with the Wii remote. Because if you were to get the Virtual Console version of this game, you would need the classic controller or the GameCube controller, which you can use for this game. But I don't know, I just want to use the Wii remote. It's pretty. You don't need the Wii remote has more than enough controls to play this game. I can't really think of why you would need the classic controller. I did use it when I played. I've already played through this version of the game. It's the exact same. It's really well done. They preserved it. They kept it the way that it used to be, which is nice. I like the, let's get rid of Waddle Doo, turn him into Sir Kibble there, so we can get the bomb power. I've already had 3 powers, Beam, Cutter, and Bomb. Like, I haven't really talked about them, but I have had them. What was I talking about? Oh, there is a Kirby Super Star Ultra version of the game, which is also really good. But I didn't like the controls on the DS. It was like the A button was jump and the B button was the powers, which is weird. After coming from the Super Nintendo, where like the B button is jump and Y button is powers, it doesn't seem like it would make that much of a difference. But after playing, I'm not gonna get that bomb back, am I? Yeah, okay. But after playing this game as many times as I have, it was a really weird transition. But it was still great. I would recommend that to anyone who would want to play the Kirby series. To play Kirby Super Star Ultra on the DS. But if you want to get into Kirby games, the Dream Collection is a great way to start getting into the games, because there's 6 of them, and some of the best games, the Kirby games made, are on here. The only one that I wouldn't be on here that I think you should get too is Returns to Dreamland on the Wii, which is the newest one, which I think is really well done. It's almost like a spiritual successor to this game, like almost like a sequel. Not a spiritual successor, because that'd be a different game altogether, but it's almost like a sequel to this game. The power system is very similar. All the powers have different moves. We'll show off the... if you press start, it goes into the pause menu. Obviously, most games do that. But it shows you, it gives you a brief overview of what your power you have is, and how to use it. The fighter power I have, depending on... It says Y, but I'm using the Wii remote, so it's 1. Depending on how long you press the button, you do different attacks with Fighter. It's a really cool power to use, and different directions will give you different attacks. So if you just tap Y really fast, you can get the Vulcan Jab, or if you just press it, what's that called again? I don't remember. Just Smash Punch, okay. But everyone knows the Vulcan Jab. Kirby's had that in all of the Smash games. That's his neutral A, really fast move. Multi-punch move. He's had that in all the Smash games, I believe, so that's a classic. Everyone knows the Vulcan Jab. He's also got a Shoryuken style up in 1 attack, which is really cool. Fighter's a lot of fun to use. Definitely one of the better powers of the game. Some of the powers are okay. But Fighter's a fun one to use. Like, there's so many different ways to kill guys. And it's unnecessary, too. A lot of it's unnecessary. I got rid of it because I want to show off this power here, which is Ice. Did that by absorbing Chili there. Ice is pretty basic. It's similar to the fire guy I just killed. It's got a breath, like an ice breath attack. And then you can create, like, ice, like an ice force field, basically, around you. A lot of fun. Ice is one of the harder powers to use, especially when you're fighting bosses. It's pretty difficult, but a lot of fun still. Its air attack's not the best, but ice is a good move. It's good for fighting just regular enemies. Like I said, bosses, it's not really the best for these guys, unless you can eat their projectiles and spit them back out. One thing you'll find when fighting bosses is they all have projectiles, just in case you're regular Kirby. You need to find... They have to give you some way to fight in case you don't have a power, right? Well, any of the powers that can grab enemies can also grab projectiles. And when you send those back at a boss, it does immaculate damage, as opposed to if you just were regular Kirby, sucked it in and spit it back out. Some bosses... like the one here in Bubbly Clouds, actually. We're not going to get to see the power because I don't think they introduce it. The only way we'll get it is if we get a mix, which is when you absorb two enemies that have powers at the same time. But there's a power you can use on the boss of this world, and you can like take him out almost like in like 5 seconds. But we won't be able to show that off right now. We'll fight the boss again later on in the game, and then I'll show it off then. But yeah, I love this game. It's a lot of fun. And we'll get... I just got Sword, but I'll get rid of it. Sword's my favorite power. We'll get this mirror. This is Samir. Okay, we're not gonna get him. Okay, we'll get Cutter then. I could go back and get him. Enemies respawn, but nah. No real point. Show off Cutter. Cutter's a classic Kirby power. It's been around since the first game they introduced powers, Kirby's Adventure. And it's a lot of fun. It's got the final Cutter attack, which does a lot of damage. Also, you know, seen in Smash Bros. The great attack. You don't really melee with the Cutter though. You usually use final Cutter when you're fighting bosses. That'll be your primary attack, because you don't really need to use it against regular enemies there. We'll give Sir Kibble there, and we'll get Mike Power, which is one of the limited use powers Kirby can use. And you use it, and you take out all the enemies on the screen. It'll kill all the enemies. I don't think any enemies will survive it, no matter how much health they have. Some enemies take more hits than others. But bosses, this won't kill bosses. Anyway. I always love that one. Let's get Stone Power. Stone Power is very simple. Turn into a stone. Does a lot of damage, and you're invincible while you're a stone, which is pretty awesome. And here's a little secret up in the moon here. I should probably discuss more what I'm doing. I'm just kind of discussing like all the powers. This is a good way. I feel I should introduce all the different powers you'll see throughout the game. That way I don't really have to go over them a whole lot when we see them. I can go over more about the level design and whatnot. I just like talking about this game. Kirby Super Star, like I said, favorite game ever. I could talk about this game all day. What's great about it, what I would improve about it, you know, all that kind of stuff. Okay, my buddy's gone there. If you give your helper, if you give him an item like that, before they die, they won't die. Or if they run into another enemy that has a power. So if he would have ran into that Waddle Doo, he would have gotten Waddle Doo power, and he would have got full health back too. Anyway, let's see Bonkers dance. This ought to be funny, because he's Bonkers and he's all awkward and big and stuff. I don't know, he's got some moves. Hopping up and down, and I don't know, looking at the camera. Here's the last stage of Spring Breeze. Spring Breeze is a recreation of Kirby's Dream Land from the Game Boy. I really like the Kirby series for the fact that throughout the entirety of the series, there's always throwbacks to older games in the series. The only case this isn't the case in is, or the only game this isn't the case in is is the very first game, because there's nothing they can throw back. But I mean, even Kirby's Adventure, the second game, one of the stages in that game is a throwback to the very first game. And it's even in black and white too, just like the Game Boy, so that's really cool. But that's what I love about the Kirby series. And King Dedede, by the way, he's really easy. We just beat him. It was really simple. I should have showed off the crowd. I think like Mario and Luigi are in the crowd or something. I know they're in the crowd in some of the other modes of this game. Maybe they're not in this one. I don't know. Here's the ending of Spring Breeze. We'll just watch this. We beat the first game of Kirby Super Star. There's 6 games in all. Well, there's 8 games. Well, there's 9 actually. But they advertise 8, but then there's like a secret one. I'm not really gonna like not spoil things. I'm gonna be pretty upfront about this game. This game's been out for a long time, so it is cool that there is like a secret thing at the end. But I mean, it's nothing spectacular, really. It's pretty fun though. I spent a lot of time back in the day playing that particular game. I won't go over what it is, even though if you've seen my co-op project of this game, then you already know what it is. Do I have to do anything? I'm pretty sure this still goes. Yeah. So this ending is exactly like the ending of Kirby's Dream Land, so it's pretty cool. And then he holds up a sign. In the original game, it says bye bye, but it says next in this because there's no more games to play. Okay, skip out of this now. All right, so by beating Spring Breeze, nothing really happens. As you complete the games, it'll open up those other 2 over there, Revenge of Meta Knight and Milky Way Wishes. But anyway, that'll be it for the first part. You know, I did Spring Breeze. That's more than long enough. Next time we'll take on probably Gourmet Race, and then Dynablade, which is probably one of the cooler parts of the game. Dynablade's a lot of fun. Alright, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching the first part of Kirby Super Star. You might have seen this on Full Screen Arcade. I'm gonna try to put it on there as well. But until then, I've been OwnSpec33. See you later.